I'm losing my self-control. Tell myself, draw the line. Not do I do. 2 years and just like that, my head still takes me back. Guess it's never really over. Just because it's over doesn't mean it's really over. I gotta rewire this brain. Tell myself, draw the line. Oh, you were such a mess, but wasn't it the best? Thought we kissed goodbye, thought we met this time. 2 years and just like that, my head still takes me back. Just because it's over doesn't mean it's really over. I think it over, maybe it'll be coming over again. I guess it's never really over.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, Katy Perry has just dropped her 6th studio album called Smile Finally. For the last year or so, I've been waiting for this album, and it came to the point where I just assumed it would never come out and we would never get it. But finally, after all the delays, it's finally here, and I'm actually really excited to check it out for the very first time. But before we get into the album, I do want to congratulate Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. Katy gave birth to a baby girl, and they named her Daisy Dove Bloom. Oh, so beautiful. I will say that was some really great timing. Not only did she give birth to a baby girl, but she gave birth to a brand new album as well. I am looking at the track list right now, and there are 12 tracks. The only tracks I have heard so far are tracks number 1, Never Really Over, and track number 4, Daisies, track number 7, Smile, and track number 10, Harleys and Hawaii. And the album is 37 minutes, which means this will be a short and sweet album. There are a few songs that are under 3 minutes, which I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not the biggest fan of songs that are under 3 minutes. What I do like about this album so far is when I look at the track list, there aren't any featured artists, which is very rare in today's day and age to put out an album and not have any featured artists. Whenever I look at a track list for a new album, more often than not, you usually get a couple featured artists, but none. There are none on this album, which I think is really refreshing. So it's just going to be Katy Perry 100% through tracks 1 and 12. We did kick off this video with Never Really Over, and this song was released last summer, and I remember loving it. I was a little shocked and surprised that this song didn't do better when it was first released last year, because it's such a great pop song, and I remember listening to it all the time last year, but it just kind of fizzled out. I thought for sure it would reach the top 10, maybe even the top 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, but it only reached the top 15, which is a little disappointing. I know pop music isn't really the go-to genre anymore right now in 2020. And I don't know, also in combination with people not really listening to Katy Perry anymore. Katy Perry has made it known that the last 3 years was really tough for her. After the release of her prior album, Witness, it wasn't well received, that album, and it flopped. I hate using that word, but I'm gonna say it. It did flop. The singles flopped, and it really damaged her career. It really messed up with her mental health, and she was very depressed. She was very sad during the last 3 years, and she was really struggling with what to do next. It does say here that Smile was conceived following a period of Perry's depression, public criticism, and breakup with then boyfriend and current fiance Orlando Bloom, and her pregnancy. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't the biggest fan of Katy's Witness era. More so not because of the music. I thought the music was okay, but it was more so her ego and her personality. To me, it was very unlikable. I've been looking back and watching old interviews that Katy Perry did during her teenage dream era, and she seemed so much more humble and nice. And then during her Witness era, there was just something that rubbed me the wrong way. Just the way she was acting out. She seemed very smug, and her ego was bigger than the world itself. And she just came across as someone who's very unlikable. At the time, she was the biggest pop star at the time, going from her teenage dream era to her Prism era. She was getting all these #1 hits, and she was so recognizable around the world. She still is today, but I think her ego got the best of her, and I genuinely just didn't like her anymore. I haven't watched her on American Idol yet. I remember watching American Idol way back in the day, and I stopped watching it in 2010, I believe. But from what I've seen, promotional clips of her being a judge on the show, I don't know, there's just something, once again, there's something very cold about her personality. And I don't want to say this about her because I do love Katy Perry, but it's just the impression I got from her as I was watching her through the years. And I don't know, like I said, her ego got the best of her and she just became very unlikable in my opinion. Even though Never Really Over was released last year, I still think it's a great comeback single. And I love the meaning behind the song. Thought we drew the line right through you and I. Can't keep going back. I guess it's never really over. But anyway, now let's move on to track number 2, Cry About It Later.
Cry about it later. Tonight I'm having fun. I know tomorrow I'll be left hungover. Cry about it later. Cry about it later. Tonight I'm having fun. Drinking and drinking and drinking it all up. Tonight I'm having fun. Tonight I'm having fun. I know tomorrow I'll be left hungover.
Okay, so that was track number 2, Cry About It Later. I have to wear the nose. I actually went out and bought this last week from the dollar store. The dollar store is putting out all the Halloween decorations and costumes out now. And I just needed a quick, cheap clown nose. So I got this nose right here. You guys have no idea. I was gonna wear like a full face of clown makeup and everything, but I don't know. I thought against it. However, I actually can't really breathe when I'm wearing this nose and I feel all like congested. I mean, I get so many comments on my channel telling me how I talk like I have a stuffed up nose. It's just naturally how I talk, I'm sorry, but now I for sure sound like I have a stuffed up nose because, I thought Cry About It Later, track number 2, I thought it was a decent pop song. I loved the production on this song. I love the synths and the electric guitar near the end I really enjoyed. The song is a bit of a downer. Just Katy's energy seems very subdued and it does get your body moving, but at the same time, I don't know, I want to dance to it, but the energy of Katy in the song is it's very low-key. Tonight, I'm having fun. I'll cry about it later. I'll cry about it later. Tonight, I'm getting some. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Tonight, she's just gonna have some fun. She's gonna party. She's going to... I don't know, she's just gonna have some fun, but she's gonna cry about it later. She's not feeling the greatest. She's feeling sad, but she's gonna feel sad later. She says that she's ready for a shameless summer, and I know tomorrow I'll be left hungover. Champagne on ice only makes you stronger. Pouring it nonstop, drinking it all up. I mean, when people are feeling, sad or depressed and they're going through something, they do resort to self-destructive things. For example, alcohols. A lot of people do turn to alcohol to numb the pain. But then the day after, not only do you have to deal with the hangover, but you also have to deal with the fact that you're still feeling shitty and depressed. I have a sneaking suspicion that this probably won't be the most upbeat and playful and happy album in the world. I don't know, I'm a little torn about Small Talk. I did like Small Talk. I know a lot of people didn't like Small Talk. I was indifferent to it. I don't mind it. I like listening to it. It's a pleasant song. If she did include the song on the album, I wouldn't be opposed to it at all. I also listened to Never Worn White. I didn't really like that song. I listened to it again after my first listen, second and third time, and it definitely grows on you. I haven't watched the music video for Never Worn White, but from what I recall reading, she's actually pregnant in that music video, and that was her big announcement to the public, that she was pregnant. She was showing off her pregnant belly. So now let's move on to track number 3, Teary Eyes. Okay, that was track number 3, Teary Eyes, and um, I don't know how I feel about this song. I actually know how I feel about this song, I just don't want to say it. First and foremost, I will say the production on the song is really fun. It definitely gets your body moving and it gets you on the dance floor, makes you want to dance, but the actual out of the lyrics and the melody, I just think it sounds very generic sounding. To me, the lyrics and the actual melody is a little boring. It sounds a lot like other dance pop songs from decades past. And we are continuing the theme of feeling sad. Just keep on dancing with those teary eyes. Wanna run like your mascara. Wide stained lips talking to the mirror. Promise one day, baby, they're gonna dry. So I'm also picking up a sense of optimism on this album, even though she is feeling sad and worrisome about her life and where it's headed and everything that has happened in her life. She does seem optimistic. She's gonna cry about it later. Everything's gonna be okay, never really over. And that's how I've always looked at life, is that your situation, whatever you're feeling, is temporary, whether you're extremely happy or extremely sad. In my situation, many times in my life, I always looked at a miserable situation as just being temporary. One day, it's gonna get better. It might not be right away. It might not be tomorrow. It might not be next month. It might not even be next year, but if you keep trying your best and you're positive and you're working as hard as you can, I imagine anything can happen. And if you put your mind to it, I know it's a cliche saying, but whatever you're feeling, if you're watching this right now and you're feeling like shit and you're not happy, you're depressed, so many people are right now during this pandemic, things are gonna get better. Okay, that's the mentality you have to have during times like this, because if you don't have that mentality, what is there to look forward to? You're just looking forward to doom and gloom for the rest of your life. You need to be optimistic. You need to be working towards something that will make your life better. Heart can't break, it's already broken. If the sun comes up, don't even care at all. So now let's move on to track number 4, Daisies.
Told them your dreams and they all started laughing. I'm the small town, 1 in 7 billion. Why can't it be me? They said I'm going nowhere, trying to get me out. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. Why did we put all our hopes in a box in the attic? Told me I was out there, tried to knock me down. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. 1 in 7 billion. Why can't it be me?
Okay, that was track number 4, Daisies. I don't know about you, but this is... honestly, this is one of my favorite Katy Perry songs ever. I think it's one of her best songs since the Prism era. I love everything about it. It's a great pop song, and I love the message behind it. A lot of people counted her out and told her that she was done, she was finished. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me till they cover me in daisies. This song is great for anybody who is trying to achieve their dreams. A lot of naysayers out there, a lot of people say you can't do something. Some people might even laugh in your face, but if you really believe in yourself and you have the support of people around you who see your talent and think you can do great things, then pay no mind to the haters out there. Told them your dreams and they all started laughing. I guess you're out of your mind till it actually happens. And then she goes on to say, I'm a small town, 1 in 7 billion, why can't it be me? Are there really 7 billion people in the world though? I thought there was 8 billion. What is the world population? Not that I don't trust Katy or anything, but I honestly thought there was 8 billion people in the world. It says that there are 7,800,000,000 people, so we are very close to 8 billion. That's scary. This song, Daisies, has definitely gotten a lot of replay value on my Apple Music. So now let's move on to track number 5, Resilient.
I know there's gotta be rain if I'm the rainbows. 'Cause I am resilient, a full flower moment.
Okay, and that was track number 5, Resilient, and definitely my least favorite song on the album. I just thought, I don't want to say this, but I just thought it was really boring. But again, I like the message behind the song. She's resilient and she's born to be brilliant. I'm gonna grow right through the cracks. You're gonna watch this flower bloom, blah, blah, blah. I am really hoping she starts singing about something else soon. Hopefully she starts incorporating other themes into the album other than being resilient and saying that she is going to keep going regardless of what people have to say. They can throw their sticks and stones at her, but she's going to be resilient and it's never really over. She's going to cry about it later with the teary eyes. I'm not having the most fun listening to this album. Obviously, that's not really the intention. I'm kind of dancing to it, but it's just a very sad album. It is a downer. I don't know how I feel about the album title, Smile. I don't know, when she revealed the title of the album, I wasn't expecting it to be Smile. I almost wish she named the album Daisy after her newborn daughter. I think that would have been beautiful. So we will now move on to track number 6, Not the End of the World.
It's not the end of the world. No, not the end of the world. Actually, just the beginning. Throw in your fancy time. It's not the end of the no, not the end of the world. You can get your star if the sky is falling down. Might see a cliff, but I see a way to fly. Flipping off the floor, now I just enjoy the ride. Don't feel no room for pretending. Actually, just the beginning. The end of the no, not the end of the world. You can make a wish even on a satellite. No, not the end of the world. Throw any fancy time. Don't say goodbye.
Okay, and that was track number 6, Not the End of the World. And my favorite part of the song was when she sampled. I actually had to look up who sang this song because it did ring a bell. I just wasn't familiar as to who sang it originally. And it's Na Na Hey Hey Kiss Him Goodbye. And it was originally recorded by Steam in 1969. When it comes to the actual song itself, though, this is probably another one of my least favorites. I'm just kind of sick of the theme of it's never really over, it's not the end of the world, fears in the fire, don't lose hope. So yes, don't lose hope and be optimistic. It's never really over, things are gonna get better, but I'm just kind of over that message already. I just think this is another generic sounding pop song that isn't very memorable. It just sounds like so many other pop songs that's been released in the last 10 years that I don't think this really stands out at all. However, my favorite part, like I said already, was when she sampled Steam's song. But anyway, we will now move on to track number 7, Smile.
Yeah, I'm faithful. Scratch that, baby, I'm faithful. Every day, Groundhog Day, going through motions, but so fake. But every tear has been a lesson. Rejection can be God's protection. Finally got back that smile. 2.0, remodeled. Gotta smile like Lionel Richie. Big and bright, need shades just to see me. Gotta say it's really been a while, but now I got back that smile.
Okay, and that was track number 7, Smile. Finally, a fun song, a fun, upbeat song. She finally got back her smile. I'm so thankful. Scratch that baby, I'm grateful. Now you see me shine from a mile. Finally got back that smile. What I also like about this song is she does acknowledge the ego she had during her Witness era. Remodeled 2.0 used to be dull, now I sparkle, had a piece of humble pie. That ego check saved my life. It seems like she did learn from what happened during her Witness era, and it does seem like she's grown quite a bit since then. What I also like about any Katy Perry album is that she is a co-writer on quite a few of the songs. I always like reading the lyrics to a Katy Perry song because I always think they're fun and cute. This goes back to her teenage dream era and her debut era. I actually haven't listened to her debut album in full yet. That's the only Katy Perry album I haven't listened to yet in full. So I definitely want to do a first listen video for that album. I did like the song Smile when it was released, but it's one of those songs, I don't know if you guys feel this way too, but it's one of those songs where you listen to the first minute of it and then you don't listen to the rest of it. You know, you like the song, but you'll only listen to the first minute once it hits the chorus, and then once the chorus is done, you just stop listening to it. But now that I'm putting the song into perspective with the rest of the album, I do feel like it's one of the stronger songs on the album. It is a very happy and optimistic song, especially for a time like this during a pandemic. So I'm a little surprised, or am I surprised? I don't know. I'm just a little disappointed it didn't do better. Just like all the other singles she's released, this song just didn't really capture the public's attention. I think she was really banking on this song doing it really well because she named the title of the album after this song. So I think she was really banking on this song being a big hit, which it just fizzled out, unfortunately. But it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the more enjoyable songs on the album. So let's move on to track number 7, Champagne Problems.
To the day I die, could you be the love of my life? Makeups to the breakups, times we could have gave up. 'Cause baby,
Oh.
baby, all the time, champagne problems now. I'm see you soon as I wipe the cross from my eyes.
Okay, and that was track number 8, Champagne Problems. I actually really enjoyed this song. It's probably one of my favorites on the album. However, I'm not the biggest fan of when she says, I want to see you soon as I wipe the crust from my eyes. It's just a little disgusting. I think she might be singing about her fiance, Orlando Bloom. Till the day I die, could you be the love of my life? I'm a soldier for you, baby. I earned all my stripes. Now we're celebrating. I'm so glad we made it this far because, baby, all we got are champagne problems now. So finally, thank God, she's celebrating. She seems happier now. And this is a nice turn after listening to track number 7, Smile, and now Champagne Problems. It's a nice turn for the album after all the doom and gloom we were experiencing on the first 6 tracks. It wasn't all doom and gloom. I mean, obviously she was also singing about optimism and being resilient and what have you, but the first half was a bit of a downer. So now we're kind of partying now. To me, this song did sound very 70s, which I also enjoyed. I love the production on this song. I do enjoy the production on this whole album, and this song in particular. I don't know, this track just made me want to go disco dancing. Anyway, now let's move on to track number 9, Tucked.
No one knows where my mind goes. My imagination at its best. I could put us on an island. I keep you tucked away inside my head, where I can find you anytime I want to. Deep in my fantasy, where I can find you anytime I want to, baby. I should forget. Oh, I keep you tucked away inside my head, where I can find you anytime I want to. Promise I'll keep you tucked.
Okay, and that was track number 9, Talked. And this was another song that I actually enjoyed listening to. I am definitely loving this second half of the album. It takes me back to a bubblegum pop Katy Perry back in the day. So we will now move on to track number 10, Harleys in Hawaii.
Boy, tell me, can you take my breath away? Call me a baby on the same wave. Oh, no, there's no slowing down. Should I take me for a ride? And a hula, hula, hula.
Okay, and that was Harley's in Hawaii. In my opinion, this is one of the best songs on the album, which she released it last year in the fall time. She released the song in October of last year. I have no idea as to why the song was released in the fall time. This is a total summer jam. It even says tropical pop in the genre, so I don't know why. I mean, this could have been a total summer. I was gonna say hit, but I don't know. It's Katy Perry. She wasn't doing too well last year when it came to putting out the hit singles, so this probably would have fared any better, but it would have fared a bit better if she released it in the summer, I imagine. This doesn't scream fall to me. This song doesn't scream October. It screams May, June, July, August. I just like everything about this song. I like the lyrics, I like the production, I like the sound of the motorcycles in the background of the production. Charlie Puth also co-wrote this song, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, he also co-wrote Small Talk as well. So we will now move on to track number 11, Only Love.
86,400 seconds in a day. I had one day left to live. And if the stars went out on me, the truth is, call my mother and tell her I'm sorry. Never call her back. I pour my heart and soul out into a letter. Send it to my dad. Give me only love, only love. Scary how quickly I lose perspective and I react. If I had one day left to live, find nothing to lose, no nothing to lose. Oh, I'd call my mother and tell her I'm sorry. Never call her back. Give me only love, only love.
Okay, and that was track number 11, Only Love. This was another song that I really liked. Once again, I mean, I know I've said multiple times that I'm really sick of the message on this album, where she kind of really hits home and she kind of bangs the nail into our heads that she is resilient and she got through the darkness and she's optimistic about the future, and she might be depressed and sad, but she's gonna get over it. So she really drove that point home, which can get very repetitive on this album. But at the same time, I really do enjoy the intention behind these songs and the lyrics. She's essentially saying that she is only going to accept love. Give me only love. And she's gonna leave the shit behind her, the negativity. I swear sometimes I hear myself talking and getting mad. Take shit so personal, like it really matters. Am I awake? Am I sleepwalking? Tell me that. And then she says, it's scary how quickly I lose perspective and I react. And then she goes on to say, if I only had one day left to live, then she'd call her mother and tell her that she's sorry. She poured her heart and soul into a letter and sent it to her dad. So this is a very sentimental song, and I liked it. I just feel like she is finally growing up, you know? She is finally maturing into a mother, and it really is true that your experiences form the person that you are today. I know everything I've gone through, especially the struggles and the crappy situations, has really formed me into the man I am today, and you can only look at it as a positive whenever you go through something negative, that it turns you into someone better. But you have to learn from those situations. You can't just dwell on them and be like, why me? You have to learn from them. Once you learn from them, that's when they're gonna turn you into a better person. And I'm thinking that's what happened to Katy Perry, that she's finally learned and she's growing and she's maturing. So we have come to the end of the album, track number 12, What Makes a Woman.
Is it the way I talk sweet? The way my skin is soft? Or how I can be a bitch? Spend your whole life but you couldn't describe what makes a woman. That's what makes a woman to me. Is it the way I cut my hair and put no makeup on? Could spend your whole life but you couldn't describe what makes a woman. That's what makes a woman to me. Yeah, that's what makes a woman. There it is, Catherine.
Wow, this was such a great song. What a great way to wrap up an album like Smile. My only complaint is that it was so short. It should have been so much longer. It just ended way too soon. It's just over 2 minutes. Come on. This is a powerful song, but in my opinion, it could have been even more powerful. It could have been, like firework territory. Describe what makes a woman, and that's what makes a woman to me. Is it the way I cut my hair and put no makeup on? I feel most beautiful doing what the fuck I want. I am finally gonna take this nose off. It's so itchy. I don't know if you noticed, but I've literally had to breathe through my mouth the entire time because I can't breathe through my nose. Finally. So that is all 12 tracks of Smile by Katy Perry, and very interesting. First and foremost, I will say that the singles off this album are a lot stronger than the singles released from her prior album, Witness. Never really over Daisies. She did release Harleys in Hawaii last year. I don't really remember Witness. I don't remember the last time I actually listened to it, but I remember kind of liking it. I don't think it's as horrible as people are making it out to be. It's not the greatest. It was definitely a step down from Prism. But like I said at the beginning of this video, what really turned me off from the album was the way she was acting. She cut her hair short, and it just seemed like she was doing it all for attention. It's like the kid in high school, or I don't know, middle school, who wants to get the attention of everyone, so they do something crazy and they cut their hair or they start dressing really weird and crazy, and they just want attention. And that's what I feel like Katy was doing during her Witness era. It was just me, look at me. But like she said in one of the songs on this album, I forget which one, but she definitely had some humble pie. Someone put her ego in check, and I really feel like she learned a lot from that experience. I was a real big fan of the second half of this album, starting with Smile, Champagne Problems, Tucked, Harleys in Hawaii, Only Love, and What Makes a Woman. I liked the theme of the album, how she is picking herself up and she's only going to accept love into her life. She's going to ignore the haters, she's going to ignore the hate, and she's just going to move on with her life. And like she said multiple times already, she's resilient, she learned her lesson, and her ego is now in check, and regardless of what anyone has to say, she's gonna keep moving forward, even though she was really depressed and sad, and these last 3 years must have been hell for her, and her mental state must have been everywhere. You could definitely tell in the energy on this album, especially the first half. It was more somber, it was more subdued, it was more dreary. If I had to pick between Witness and Smile as to which one is better, in my opinion, I feel like Smile is stronger. If we can learn one thing from this album, and what Katy was trying to hit home, is that we all have off days, we all go through shit, we're all gonna feel depressed and sad during times throughout our life, and all we can really do is look forward to tomorrow and just be optimistic for what is to come. And it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel sad, we're only human, but things will get better if we want them to, and we just have to make it work somehow. You just need to grow a thick skin and just move on, and don't dwell on the past, and just pick yourself up, tell yourself, yes, that happened, that shitty thing happened, those shitty things happened in my life, but I'm gonna get back up. They're not gonna keep me down. People are gonna knock you down, and people are gonna try and keep you down. People are gonna ask you, why are you even trying? You're not good enough. Just stop. But you should stop. Just move forward. And as long as you believe in yourself, I know it's cliche. I know it's a cliche saying, but you just need to believe in yourself, and you just need to get back up. I thought the production on the album was pretty cool. It's not the most amazing production that I've listened to on a recent pop album. It does sound a little generic at times, especially in the beginning. Some of the songs just kind of blur together, and I don't think they're very memorable, but there are quite a few songs on here that are memorable that I will go back to. The lyrics are also very typical as to what we are expecting from a Katy Perry album. The lyrics are very Katy Perry, and I wouldn't expect anything more or less from the lyrics. I think this was a solid pop album from Katy Perry. I don't think it was out of this world. I don't think it was amazing, but I don't think it was horrible. I think it was somewhere in between for me. So what did you guys think of the album? What are your favorite songs? Maybe you absolutely love this album. Maybe you hate it. Tell me why in the comments. And I think that's all I wanted to say. This was the very first Katy Perry album that I've listened to on this channel, which is surprising. I will be going on my Katy Perry discography journey. I do want to listen to all her albums on this channel at one point. I don't know when that will be, but hopefully soon. So thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can tell me other artists I should check out. I'm open to any artists from any decade. You can find me on Apple Music, you can check out my playlist, and so on and so forth. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Take care.